Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hardspace Shipbreaker. My name is Volcata, and in this episode, we're going to explore one more of the mackerels, which is the station hopper mackerel. So let's hop straight into it. See what I did there? So as a tradition with all the mackerels, we're going to knock this thing out in 2 quick shifts. Fully compressed. Got little antennas to toss off the back. I say compressed, I keep using the word compressed. Pressurized. I mean, I guess the air is compressed, but probably not, right? It should be at 1 atmosphere. Alright, so let's get we're gonna focus and knock this out quick. Now, in case you are new to the channel and this is your first viewing of a mackerel, those panels right there will come off if you grab them, which is why I grab the structure, or the support beams in which they are attached, so as to take the whole thing as one whole unit.
Valuable object process.
Not necessary, you can throw them all in individually. And I just want to get them out of the way. And then get through here and do cuts. Just like that. Ooh, got all 3 of them. Nice. And I do not have the extended range on the spreader. And I've mentioned that a number of times in other episodes, that I have intentionally not done any of the upgrades on the spreader's range, because there's a lot of times when I'm in a precise situation where I don't want it to cut things off in the distance, and the spreader is pretty indiscriminate. All right, it will cut.
Credits awarded.
You know, and I want to have this flexibility of using it where I might otherwise be forced to use the precision cutter. And I love the precision cutter, don't get me wrong, but that, like we did right there, that's 10 times faster than using a precision cutter. So it's nice to keep those options open. Now the precision cutter, I have 2 or 3 range upgrades on. The more the better on that one.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
And of course, at this level, we have all ships are going to be pressurized, and pretty much all ships are going to have no working atmospheric regulator. And the uniqueness about the station hopper is, well, all the chairs and the panels, the electric panels, terminals. So this is a ship that you gotta be careful about dismantling, because these things can burn. And so we're going to, boy, does it look like any of those are floating around? There's a lot of little junk floating around, and we always, okay, that's a large versus a small, but it's still attached. We always go up when we open up these ships, the mackerels. But I'm thinking in this one I might, I was going to say I might go down, but I want to go up still. Because if these are getting pulled, I want them to get pulled up through the top. Alright. That one's going to be right next to a terminal, so is that one. We're trying to see if there's any... No better ones. Where is the reactor? Reactor's on their side of that wall. We're not going through there. Just don't tempt the fates, you know. Don't do the decompression next to the reactor. Seems like a decent idea. But alright. Gotta stop talking because we're gonna go flying. Okay. Clearly broke that out. Alrighty then, that's unusual. Alright, so I guess we're gonna risk this one because something's going wrong here. There we go. I don't know why that other one didn't come out. Come back, please. Just bring it back to the ship. It's fairly heavy with all that stuff on it. And I don't want to waste the time dragging it all the way. We're just going to leave it floating for now because I want to get the floor out. I already feel like we're a little bit behind. Because it took so long decompressing. Let's get the area on the back. So we know the reactor's in the wall, so it's not one of the types that has a reactor in the back room. So we're just going to clear our way all the way to the back. What's kind of nice about this one is nothing's attached to the floor. So we can kind of get the floor out quicker. Well, nothing's attached with this. You know, in the light cargo Mackerel, there's a bunch of cargo attached to the floor. Alright, give everybody a little tap, tap, tap.
Valuable object process.
Don't normally do that, but you know, get a little playful sometimes. Hopefully things don't go wrong. So I'm leaving the rest of these in because, well, first of all, that one is clearly not wanting to leave anyway. But I want to grab the things off the top before I cut out all the tops. Both because it's easier while it's still mounted, and because... There we go. I don't want to risk, you know, maybe somehow catching one on fire by the cutter, or just cutting it on accident. Just get them out of the way. And one of the great things about seats is that they are heavy, so they're really easy to sling. Just like that. So I don't even have to look all the way down. Much faster to salvage.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I'm not going to do the same with the terminal. Well, I can once I get it away, but you want to pull it away from the wall first. I got a pretty good angle. I pulled that one towards me and it had momentum coming towards me. You probably couldn't see that, but... I really could do without this segment of the music being so loud. Getting through this at a pretty good I could see this being doable in
Secured. Credits deposited.
one session if we really pushed it. Didn't get delayed on the decompression and didn't spend time talking about what we're doing.
Account credit applied.
Because this sucker's coming apart pretty fast.
Alright, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this shift before they turn the lights out on you. Hit or batter. We've wrapped.
Now we still have to empty the cockpit. And get rid of the thruster.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Get that thruster cap off the back. So we are not going to get this done in one session, but it really feels like a ship that we probably could if we really tried. It's also going to come down to what's inside the walls.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Because the mackerels that have piping in the walls, like the light
Salvage
cargo
secured.
mackerel,
Credits deposited.
you can take the walls fast
Credits awarded.
because you don't have to disconnect the piping. The ones with the cabling inside, if you want to be thorough, you got to take out all the cabling. Admittedly, the cabling's not worth a whole lot, so I wouldn't be mad at somebody for not taking the cabling out. And I don't always bother to throw all the cabling in if I'm running shy on time,
Processing value.
but I try.
Credits awarded.
Alright, I think that's the interior of the ship, outside of the cockpit.
Oxygen level stabilizing.
Nope, no, I was trying to grab that. Technically, this is part of the interior of the ship, so we're not quite done with it yet.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Whoop! Nope. I think I had the wall there. Alright. Oh, and we missed this guy. Let's empty out the cockpit.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Unfortunately, in the mackerels, you can't just cut out the floor and dump things out like we do on the gecko
Account credit
and
applied.
the javelin. But that's okay. Not a whole lot of stuff to pull out.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
And that door is pretty large. So it's not too bad to get them out. It's not like pulling them out through an airlock.
Credits deposited.
Which is often the case in the larger ships.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Cutter, we're getting down to the wire. Let's put a bow on this shift.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Alright. We should have do we have a door handle? Or wasn't a door handle? Yeah, I don't think this was even a door, was it? Alright. Well, let's spin our last... Oh! We missed the thing. Don't want to be cutting willy-nilly with one of those there. As I was about to say, let's spend our last moments cutting this glass out to the edge, get the red line all the way across. Get as much of it as we can. I'm going to tether this because we're running out of time, and between sessions it would still have its momentum, and when we would start next shift it would be floating away, and I just didn't want it. I wanted to account for its location and I didn't want to lose it, so that's why I tethered that, even though it was otherwise unnecessary. Alright, oh, we lost some food packs and some bottles. That was to the explosive decompression. Beyond that, I mean, almost 2 million. That's pretty good, especially on a first session of a mackerel. Alright. And 750 for the last milestone on a mackerel ain't bad, you know, for a 2-day shift. Alright, well, let's finish this up. Alright, so there goes the glass. Let's cancel that the tether. It's already in the
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
in the bay. And let's get this thruster cap off the back so we can get the thruster out. I'll tell you, it's nice to come back to these mackerels every now and then. You know, doing all the big ships all the time.
Valuable object
And
processed.
you know, the ship isn't in the way. You know, like the thruster cap, I could just toss it right over there. You know, normally the ship is so large, you're all the way at the back of the bay, and it gets a little hard to get around the ship. So it's kind of nice to come back to these every now and then. So let's not forget, we have a pressurized compartment in the walls, so just, you always want to try to not forget about that. So we're going to remove the front as opposed to cutting through a wall. Kind of the safest way to depressurize this. I want to make sure the cutter is not getting the wall, it's getting just the supports. Alright. Let's get all of these out. I'm being a little bit cautious because it's still moving. And I don't want to hit one of those. Don't turn it. One of those coolant tanks. And I came back over here for these coolant tanks, even though I was clearly about to cut the other one off, because these tend to pull the cockpit around, and I figured I'd pull them off while I still had a little bit extra mass before I cut these off. You'll see what I'm talking about here when I pull these two off. So I'm using my brakes to try to hold me in place. But as you can see, it can move it around a bit.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
And since we know we have a whole shift to go, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the aluminum here, even though sometimes I'll leave it. Normally I'll leave it to the end in case we're gonna run out of time, but I don't feel like we're gonna be pressured on not getting this done in 2 shifts. But if we were trying to get 1 shift, you better bet I would sacrifice that aluminum.
Material deposited.
I consider it a non-essential, which is why, even if I feel like I have enough time, a lot of times I'll leave it to the last just because of that, you know? In case something goes weird. more important parts of the ship, the more valuable parts, then you can always just chuck the cockpit into the processor at the last minute.
Deposit accepted.
But I'm confident we're gonna have no problems. Ah! Excuse you. That was rude. Okay, so this is pipes, so this is gonna be
Valuable object processed.
quick and easy.
Credits deposited.
We should be able to do this before we have to get oxygen. I'm gonna stop cutting until I get this pipe out, or this fuel tank out of the way. Alright. Up a little bit. Alright, we're gonna have to do a precision cut there. Just to be safe. And we're going to... I think we're gonna go ahead and break this. It's gonna be easier to get these nacelles out. And we'll just break the pipe off the back. Probably. On this one we might not. Let's see. Yeah, so this doesn't have the aluminum mounts. It's just the piping. So we'll just grab the piping off. We don't have to bother cutting out the mount. You know, as soon as I fired that, I noticed that I think it said furnace. I think we damaged it enough that there wasn't any good piping left on it.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage gained. Credits awarded.
Yeah, see, the rest of that's still processor. We'll leave the fuel tank in there
Salvage secured.
because it's about to be exposed to open space. We can get rid of it easier then. Straighten this out. Get out of our way. Don't strictly need 2 tethers, but yeah, why not? They're free. At least for now. Alright.
Salvage secured.
We're going to pull this out instead of tethering it because it's stuck in that bracket. I don't want to pull it straight down and have it bang up. And we're going to cut this piece out. This wall is furnace, but the bracket is
Credits transferred.
reactor. The reactor plate is a processor.
Valuable object. Credits awarded.
This is completely unnecessary. Doing it anyway. We got the time. Make a little extra money. Why not? Alright, so now all we have to do is this side.
Credits deposited.
Which should be pretty quick and easy after we get past this airlock.
Oxygen reserves are low. Reminder, asphyxiation can lead
Ooh,
to salvage quotas.
that was close. I wasn't exactly clear of the fuel pipe when I did that. That was dangerous. Got away with it. Yeah, it looks like we've dilly-dallied, so we're gonna have to get oxygen. That's okay.
Oxygen reserves are critical. Please contact your plan administrator to add asphyxiation coverage.
I don't want to have to come all the way back in here. So I'm trying to get this quick. The reason I didn't take the top half of this when I was running through here was just because I knew I'd be cutting near these pipes while they were still active. So I decided to do it on my way back instead. Alright, buddy. Relax. I gotcha.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Pull this out far enough that I can hit the piping. Keeping in mind that there's a fuel tank on the other side of that wall. Let's see if any of that is still processor. Nope, it's all scrap. That's alright. Can't be helped.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Processing valuable
Alright, the
objects.
ship is more or less
Credit
done.
rewarded.
We might as well take this door out. No, we don't need to, because this whole... it's part of the front panel, okay, which is all going to go in. Going to go into the processor anyway. Watch it, make sure it doesn't try to swing its way around. That's why I grabbed that corner, was to kind of flip it a little bit, just so the back end didn't drag towards the furnace.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Alright. And all this cabling here is furnace, so we're good to leave that in. And do one more once over in the ship. No objects. Ah, there is an object. Good thing that we checked. Looky there. They're valuable.
Ship salvaged in full. Credits applied to cutter account.
Let's just swing us around. Wonder if we could... no. I was gonna goof around and put it in there sideways, which we probably could get away with, but then I looked up at the timer and saw that we shouldn't be goofing with time. We've already spent a lot of unnecessary time just cutting things out that we don't have to cut out. I am flipping this around so that the back end doesn't get grabbed by the furnace. Alright, so we got an extra minute here, so we're gonna check and make sure that nothing didn't go into the barge. It's safe to go into the barge, you can't be killed by it.
Valuable object processed.
No objects.
All right, Cutter. Wrap it up. You got about a minute left.
Nope. Looks like we're good. Everything's gone inside. Alright. Alright, well, let's wrap this up. Get our final summary here. Shave 30 seconds off the video. Another 2 million. Man, that was for Mackerel, it was a pretty good payday. So I'm happy with that. Excellent. Very good. Very thorough job. So yeah, I clicked one more time than I normally do on my videos, so you can see where I'm at in the career and where my debt looks like. But thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate it, especially if you're a return viewer, and if you're a new viewer, go check out all the other videos related to this game, especially if you're interested in the game. And if you haven't played the game yet and you're thinking about it, I tell you, it's I'm usually hesitant to get on early access games, but this has been a lot of fun. And there are enough variants of the different ships that it still stays interesting. And it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it. But thank you very much for coming out. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have any comments about how I could have done something better, or questions about it, or philosophies of life, it doesn't matter. There's a comment section below. But I hope to see you guys in a future episode, either of Hardspace Shipbreaker or anything else I might have on the channel. But thanks again.